The Poisoned Palmwine, a story from Kojokope. In a land where the drums never stopped beating and the wind always carried the smell of a roasted yam and palm oil, there was a beautiful village called Kojokope, meaning Kojo's village. The people live close to the earth and honor their ancestors with dance and prayer. They work hard in the farms, fetch water from the stream with songs, and sat under the baobab tree in the evening to listen to stories. But there was one man everyone respected above all others. His name was Togbi Agbezuge, the wise and careful linguist of the village. Togbi Agbezuge was no ordinary man. He was chosen by the gods to speak to the chief, to settle quarrels, and to give wise counsel when trouble stirred like a storm on the river. His voice was calm, like the breeze that moves through corn leaves at dawn. His eyes could pierce lies, and his words could soften even the hardest hearts. He wore long white cloth wrapped around him and always held a talking stick carved with ancient symbols. But not all hearts in Kojokope were pure. 3 men, Agbeko, Amuzu, and Tenge, watched him with jealous eyes and whispered behind trees. Agbeko was the loudest of the 3. He believed the chief should have made him the linguist. He had grown bitter like unripe mango and always found fault in Togbi Agbezuge's decision. Amuzu, tall and narrow-eyed, was cunning. He never shouted, but his thoughts were always moving like ants around sugar. Tenge, the youngest, followed the other 2 like a goat on a rope. Together, they burned with envy, and their hearts grew dark like the stormy sky before the harmattan's rain. One night, under a mango tree, they made a plan that would turn their air in Kojokope's cold. Brothers, Agbeko began, we sit here like a dry leaf whilst Togbi shines like a golden pot. This is not right. The people follow him. The chief listened to him, even told them sing his praises. If we don't act, we will always live in his shadow. Amuzu narrowed his eyes and nodded slowly. You speak truth, Agbeko, but we must be wise. Words will not remove him. We need action, silent and sharp. Tenge swallowed hard. What do you mean? Agbeko leaned in, lowering his voice to a whisper. We shall give him a gift, one that sent him to the land of the ancestors. The 3 men planned to give Togbi a god of palm wine, sweet, fresh, and deadly. They would mix a strong poison into it and offer it as a token of honor. Then they would leave the village and go to a nearby town called Hochiame, pretending to attend a yam festival. By the time they returned, they believe Togbe would be lying cold in his compound, and the village would mourn. We will cry the loudest, Amuzu said with a wicked smile. And the chief will have no choice but to pick a new linguist. Tenge looked uneasy but said nothing. He was too deep to turn back. Early the next morning, when the cock crowed and the mist still sat on the grass, Agbeku and Amuzu prepared the poison. They took a bitter root from the forest and crushed it into a fine powder. They whispered old chants as they mixed it into the palm wine, their hands trembling slightly. May the gods forgive us, Amuzu muttered. The gods? Agbeku laughed. This is not their concern. This is about power. Tenge stood silently, holding the calabash. His mind was full of fear, but his mouth stayed shut like a locked drum. The plan was now in motion. When the sun had climbed high, they dressed in a fine clothes and went to Zipitor's house. They found him sitting on a low stool, sharpening his staffs and hammering an old twin. Ah, Togbe, Agbeku greeted cheerfully. We bring you greetings and a gift, palm wine from the sacred grove. May it refresh your soul. Togbe smiled warmly. Brothers, your kindness surprises me. Sit, let us drink together. But Agbeku quickly replied, No, elder. We are on our way to Hochiame for the yam festival. We must not delay. Togbe nodded and thanked them again. Taking the calabash inside, the three men left quickly, walking down the dusty road with light feet and dark hearts. As they passed the last huts in the village, Tenge looked back, his throat dry. It's done, said Amuzu. Let us go and prepare for our new beginning. At night, they arrived in Hochiame. Drums were beating, people were dancing, and smoke rose from roasted plantain and goat meat. But their hearts were not in the festival. They sat in the corner of a small hut, waiting like vultures circling the sky. Tomorrow, Agbeku said, we will return to hear the sweet news. But something unexpected happened in Togbe's house. As the linguist entered the kitchen with the palm wine, His young daughter, Coco, ran in playing. She tripped over a stool, knocking the calabash from his hand. The wine spilled onto the ground, soaking into the earth. "Oh, father, I'm sorry," she cried. Togbe lifted her gently and smiled. "It's nothing, Coco. Just wine. The cause knows best." He cleaned up the mess and thought nothing more of it. That night, he ate a roasted yam and lay on his mat, dreaming of the ancestors and listening to the distant beat of drums. Morning came, and the three plotters set out for Kojokope with fake tears already in their eyes. "When we get there, we will pretend to be shocked," said Agbeko. "We will weep loudly. We will help carry the body, and the chief will see how loyal we are." Tingi said nothing. His belly felt strange. As they walked, they grew thirsty. The sun was high.